Good evening, my name is Chisom Ejekam, and I'm going to be talking to you all about Cyrenaica and its demands towards self-determination. To begin, I'm going to define self-determination. The right to self-determination is a fundamental principle of human rights and an individual and collective right to freely determine political status and to freely pursue economic, social, and cultural development. According to the United Nations, nations based on respect for the principle of equal rights and fair equality have opportunity and the right to freely choose their sovereignty and international political status with no external compulsion or interference. International Court of Justice refers to the right to self-determination as a right held by the people rather than a right held by the government alone. The region who is looking towards this self-determination is Cyrenaica. Cyrenaica is located in the eastern region of Libya, a country located in Africa, adjacent to Tripolitania and Hasan. A few facts about Cyrenaica. Cyrenaica stretches from Sirte to the eastern border with Egypt. Benghazi, which is the second largest city in Libya, is located in Cyrenaica, and Cyrenaica holds about 3/4 of Libya's vibrant oil reserves. This is actually very important, and is also the birthplace of the Libyan Civil War. Cyrenaica and autonomy. For about 10 years after its independence in 1959, Libya was run along federal lines with power devolved to Cyrenaica, Tripolitania, and Hasan. Cyrenaica enjoyed prestige and power under King Idris, but after being overthrown by Gaddafi in 1969, eastern Libya was sidelined for the next 4 decades. This history of autonomy is partially driving its bid for self-determination in Libya. More about Muammar Gaddafi. He was a corrupt and money-hungry man. He was captured and killed during the Libyan Civil War. He was an abuser of human rights and created the idea of a centralized government in Libya, which leads to the reason towards why Cyrenaica wants self-determination. Cyrenaica and its people have been marginalized and neglected for over 4 decades. There's been a lack of significant economic progress and development, unlike that of Tripolitania and Hasan. Cyrenaicans are dissatisfied with the central government in Tripoli, and there's been an underrepresentation of Cyrenaicans in the interim parliamentary body. This interim parliamentary body is also known as the NTC, who is led by Mustafa Abdul Jalil. There is a common theme between these two individuals, which is what I'm about to speak of right now. The National Transitional Council, it was created during the Libyan Civil War to become the political face of the revolution. However, Mustafa Abdul Jalil was just as corrupt as Gaddafi. In other words, the NTC contradicted itself and still pursued the pro-Gaddafi era and the feeding into the centralism idea. A clear indication of this is Cyrenaica's underrepresentation in the parliamentary body. And these are just photographs of Mustafa Abdul Jalil and Abdul Rahim Al-Kib and their idea of feeding into centralism. So shortcomings of the National Transitional Council of Libya were a lack of transparency, a failure to protect the rights of minorities, slow restoration of public services in areas worst hit during the revolution, an unaccountable detention system, an ability to bring militias under total control and decommission their arms, and the torture of prisoners. Now, in February of 2011, after decades of instability, the people of Cyrenaica began an uprising. This spread to Tripoli, where Libya slipped out of Gaddafi's control, and this is also the same time during Gaddafi's death. Another man who was also killed during this time was Abdul Fattah Yunus. The irony behind this is that Abdul Fattah Yunus once held the rank of being Gaddafi's number 2, but after seeing what the people of Cyrenaica went through and sympathizing with them, he resigned from his office and became the commander-in-chief of the rebels' armed forces. But he was killed by a pro-Gaddafi militia, and this is also known as a crime against humanity. So on March 6th of 2012, about 3,000 delegates announced they were setting up a council to run Cyrenaica. The Cyrenaica Transitional Council, led by Ahmed al-Sunisi, was supposed to administer the affairs of the province and protest the rights of the people. But the CTC was still under the NTC, the National Transitional Council, and still is controlling Cyrenaica as far as being the representative in international arenas, which is including their oil, and what is basically their profit. The declaration of the CTC does not carry legal forces, and the CTC still has not been recognized to this day. The process of self-determination can be through direct negotiation by representatives of the participants, mediation through a trusted third party, the findings of an agreed-upon independent tribunal, or the ruling of a recognized international court, such as the International Court of Justice. The process ends with the people's consent to a proposed outcome through a referendum, plebiscite, or some other means. And here is the leader of the Cyrenaica Transitional Council, Ahmed al-Sunisi, and a picture of Cyrenaica and its declaration of semi-autonomy from Tripoli. In conclusion, the people of Cyrenaica have suffered deprivation, marginalization, and neglection for more than 40 years. An oil-rich region is unable to enjoy its wealth from its own land and its equality due to the adopted idea of centralism. Furthermore, the needs and rights of the people have not been met. A once prestigious region is now demanding self-determination to be free from this continual suffrage. In order for there to be peace in Libya, the equality of the people must be met. And in order for this to occur, the right to self-determination must be supported. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you did a good job. Thank you.